Yes, we are live. Welcome back, my dear friends. Welcome to another amazing episode of Zero Point Healing Show. This is episode number 47. And in today's show, we are going to discuss about how to transition your career fearlessly. And I have with me Tanya today with me, who is a PSYCH-K certified facilitator. So before I move on to her, just a short intro about me. I am Vishnupriya. I'm a healer and therapist myself, certified in multiple different modalities. And zero point healing is my passion, is my purpose, why I'm here. And zeropointhealing.com. It's a web directory of all healers and therapists and facilitators, which emerged through my own life journey as I was journeying through 6 to 7 different modalities that I have been certified in. I found that each different modality holds key to help us move to the next step in our life. So that's my personal experience with different modalities and different healers. So this platform I have put together as a solution, as an answer to the questions of people out there who are searching for help, who are searching for helping them with their problems in life, with their life challenges. And when all healers and therapists and facilitators get together on a platform, I think unity is power, and that's what I'm harnessing through zeropointhealing.com. With that being said, if you are a healer practitioner or a facilitator yourself, I welcome you to zeropointhealing.com. You can register, and if you're interested in doing this kind of an interview with me, you can contact me for that as well. All right, so with that being said, I'm moving on to my guest today. Welcome, Tanya. Thank you so much for coming to my show. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey, and how did you become a PSYCH-K facilitator?
Oh, that's my dog. Thank you, Vishnu. Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it. She always barks at the worst times.
At the right time.
At the right time, right? Just to create a little bit of levity. Well, how did I come to PSYCH-K? I think everyone's story and how they come to alternative healing, spiritual healing is probably the same and different at the same time. I started my career in my 20s in psychology, and at that time I just realized I was far too young for the helping profession. I didn't have any of my own life experience. I didn't have any authority, and I decided that I would go travel for a while and try and get some life experience, and I did. I got lots of it. And I landed up going into the business world. I was in banking and fintech and software for about 20 years. And I landed up going through a pattern, and that pattern was really one of two things. I either would get to a place in my career, in that particular career, where I didn't think I could go any further, or there was just nothing, there was no next step that I could see, or the company that I was with, because I was with a lot of startups, would go under. And it was really this latest one, late last year, where this happened again. And as so often happens with patterns, we realize the universe is giving us a message. And that message was, for me, it's time to go back to my roots. It's time to go back to what my purpose is, and that's helping people. At the time, I didn't know what that looked like. I had all of these fears and limiting beliefs about, did I have to go back to the school and get my PhD? How am I going to pay my bills? And what I had learned now and had the opportunity to experience using PSYCH-K is that those are all limiting beliefs, and limiting beliefs will hold you back. And luckily, I was able to find PSYCH-K right at the right time, and it was introduced to a master facilitator and teacher. and she helped me rewrite those limiting beliefs. I got certified with her and was able to launch my career as a life coach and a PSYCH-K facilitator from that. Um, and you know, I've never looked back. I know that it's an interesting journey ahead of me, but I know that it's the right one.
That is so beautiful, and a wonderful experience that comes along with that. Always, it's the life lessons that just take us to where we are supposed to reach, and that's beautiful. So tell us now, let's dive into the topic, how to transition career fearlessly. Again, you have already touched base on that with your own story. That's nice. But tell us a little bit about the transitioning of career and what kind of blocks a person might experience, and then tell us about psyche, how psyche can help someone transition their career.
Well, it's a great question. And I think when it comes to transitions in our lives, the biggest thing that holds us back is fear. And what is experienced around fear is a lot of statements like, I can't, I'm not good enough, I don't have time, but I should do this. And whenever those phrases come up in our lives, it's our opportunity to look at that and realize that that's a limiting belief, and that's something that is based on a faulty assumption that you've learned from your history that you can rewrite and get past. What Psych-K allows people to do, especially in times of transition, is to choose something different. And in the process of choosing something different and going through a Psych-K session, your subconscious mind begins to not ignore the fear, it doesn't change the fear, but the emotional attachment that we have wrapped around those statements of I can't, I shouldn't, I'm not good enough, and all that fear, the emotional attachment just goes away. So the fear still comes up, but when the emotional attachment's gone, the other thing that happens is you can suddenly see opportunities that you didn't see before. Or you start to see how what you thought at one time were liabilities could be turned into opportunities. And one of the really interesting ones, and that happens all the time, it's a continual thing that happens. One of the ones that I just learned about myself that I always thought was a liability was what I considered an inability to choose sides. I would always be able to see both parties' sides of an issue, a discussion, a conflict. Well, I understand where this person's coming from. Oh, but I also understand where this person's coming from, and they have equal weight. And while that was a liability to me in the business setting, because sometimes you need to choose sides, in a helping modality, it helps you with unconditional acceptance. You don't want to choose sides. You want to be able to understand where both parties are coming from, because everybody has different experiences. Everybody is coming at an issue from a completely different place, and being able to really experience each person's understanding of event is not a liability anymore, but it's an opportunity for me. It's a benefit. And it's those kinds of things that Psych-K can allow you to see that you weren't able to see before.
That is nice. So now tell us about psyche and what psyche is, and then what happens in a psyche session, how long it is, and what exactly is happening within the session.
Yeah, great question. So PSYCH-K is a combination of psychology and kinesiology, PSYCH-K. And fundamentally, it basically brings the two healing professions and techniques together, so that during a session, we use a bit of talk therapy in the respective understanding what the issue is, getting to the core of an issue, and then identifying what the preference would be for that particular state, and then using techniques from kinesiology to help rewrite the subconscious beliefs that somebody has around that preference, around that belief. And so there's some really well-known concepts in kinesiology. People may have heard the term muscle testing. And using muscle testing, which is fundamentally the same concept as like a lie detector test. Your body knows when you're lying. And when you say something that your subconscious doesn't believe, your musculature weakens in a way that if I then put pressure on your arm or a limb, I know that your subconscious mind doesn't agree with that statement. And we then use that as an opportunity to then create something called a whole brain posture. And a whole brain posture is really simple. Fundamentally, it's anything where one limb of your body is crossed over the midline of your body. And that actually helps the two hemispheres of your brain assimilate information better, pass information between the corpus callosum, the little piece of tissue between the two hemispheres of the brain. And so once we've created that whole brain state, that basically allows your conscious mind to leverage the processing power of your whole brain in dealing with a problem, rather than the one hemisphere of your brain, which you might have a hemispherical dominance towards, say if you're more right-brained or more left-brained. So throughout the session, we discuss the issue, we muscle test your physiology to get a response from your subconscious mind on how it is experiencing that situation. We then select whichever whole brain posture is right for that issue. And then using that posture and often some visualization techniques, we rewrite that limiting belief or that stressful event into something that can be turned into a supporting belief, or we can significantly reduce the stress around an event for somebody so they can move past it.
It's nice. And in simple words, I have done few PSYCH-K sessions with PSYCH-K facilitators before. So I usually say PSYCH-K is like a tool that we can use to, reprogram our subconscious in just few minutes, right? 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and tell us now, knowing that the power of PSYCH-K is about reprogramming the subconscious, tell us how can we apply that in our life? So what are the type of problems that PSYCH-K would be able to help us cure or overcome?
It's another great question. I mean, I use PSYCH-K on myself for any myriad of different issues I'm going through. One of them that is actually really notable is something that everybody is experiencing right now, and that's stress. So when you're experiencing a lot of stress about a past event, a present event, or a future event, you can very quickly use PSYCH-K to minimize and de-stress yourself over an event. I mean, we're all pretty stressed about the future right now. And then also, if you can consciously identify when you say things like, I can't do that, or I shouldn't be doing that. Whenever you have those statements pop up in your conversation or your internal dialogue, that's an indication that you have a limiting belief that's holding you back from doing something or getting something more of in your life that you want. And that's a great opportunity to call a PSYCH-K facilitator and say, hey, I would really like to figure this one out because I really want to get past this and get more X in my life.
That's nice, but could you give us maybe specific examples of maybe what kind of problems maybe a client is coming to you, anxiety, depression, or anything to do with their career, finances, whatever that is. So give us maybe a list of things for viewers who might be seeing this video. They might have multiple different challenges or problems that they are finding, so that they are looking solutions for. So tell us how and the wide range of issues that this can apply.
Well, generally in my own practice, and I think all PSYCH-K facilitators are a little bit different, but in my own practice, I focus more on the times in people's lives where they are going through transition. What's next? So a lot of times that will bring up significant stress. It will bring up anxiety. It can bring somebody into kind of a depressive state for sure. But for my practice specifically, I use it mostly for helping people through major transitions in their lives to get past the fears and past the stress of what that transition might mean for them, and what it could look like on the other side of that transition. And because of that fear, they just don't go after what they want. So that's how I use it mostly.
Yes, that's nice. But with PSYCH-K, usually with the interviews that we are doing here, we usually do a demo session, like a demo healing that we usually give our visitors. But with PSYCH-K, obviously, we cannot do that. So instead of that, I'm gonna maybe, if you can share a client story of, what issue did the client come to you for and what happened maybe during the session. Maybe you can also share a little bit of either the goal statements or the type of beliefs that were changed during the session, and then what happened after the session and what were the results.
Definitely. So one recent woman that I was working with, businesswoman, very successful in her career. She had actually just come out of a transition, and because of that, she was experiencing a lot of insecurity around her new position and her new place in a business. And she was in this new position, she was in the limelight. So she had gone from kind of she had gone from a CFO to a CEO role. And so fundamentally for her, what that meant was she had gone from a role where she was behind the computer to a role where she was very much in front of the computer and in the limelight and in front of all her employees, and had to speak a lot. And she kept saying, I know I can do this, I'm very comfortable with it, but as soon as I start talking, I start questioning myself. Am I talking too much? Am I making sense? Am I getting the buy-in people that I need? And do people understand me? And so in working with her, she didn't want to transition her career. She was very happy with where she landed. But what we helped her with was identify how to get her self-confidence back. And so if I can remember correctly, the goal statement that we used, and thank you for bringing up the goal statement, because a goal statement is essentially the preference for your life. So once in a PSYCH-K session, once we've identified that we know what the issue is, we create a statement around what the preference would be, and we call that a goal statement. And a goal statement is always expressed in the first person. It's expressed in the present tense, and it's short and it's meaningful. So she had all of this insecurity and fear around her speaking. And her goal statement that she came up with was, if I remember correctly, something about I confidently express myself when speaking. And so using that goal statement and the whole brain posture, we were able to rewrite that limiting experience that she was having with her new job. We also decided that it would be a good opportunity to take a look at the stress that she was having around it. So we also, in that same session, we did a little bit of transforming the perception of stress that she was having around that. The session lasted about 45 minutes at the end of it, after we had gotten to know each other and done the two separate PSYCH-K sessions, what we call balances. And I asked her if she would let me know how things went. She actually had a big presentation, a big meeting that she was doing the following Monday, and that I think was the Thursday. And so she wrote me an email the following week, and initially she said, well, the meeting went really well. Maybe we'll just have one more session so that we can just really lock it in. And then she wrote me again. She said, no, I'm good. Actually, I don't need to. So that was great, which is always an interesting experience for someone like me who loves working with people. So I want to see people again, but I am also, if I see them too often, I'm not doing my job.
Yes, and yes, I think the talk therapy and all of the modalities that was previously had all the clients coming back and back again and again, but most of the new modalities are so advanced that we don't get to see the clients again.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. So now tell us a little bit about the packages that you offer. I also see that you are certified in cognitive behavioral therapy as well. So tell us, how are your packages, and if clients viewing this would like to book a session with you, what are the different services that you offer?
Yeah, definitely. Well, basically, I offer single PSYCH-K sessions and then a package of 3 PSYCH-K sessions. And I do that because I find that once people start using the modality, it gets them to look deeper at other aspects of their life, and they want to try it on different issues. So while you may decide that you want to use PSYCH-K to help with your career transition, you might also realize, hey, this is a really interesting opportunity for me to then deal with, hey, what the stress around my future might look like. So the single session is an obvious, easy one, but I do 3 sessions at a bit of a discount if people want to try it for other issues in their life. And then I'm also a certified life coach. And so with that, I use cognitive behavioral therapy, and I use PSYCH-K, and I use mindfulness. And I find that really the difference there for people is that PSYCH-K is great if you are a little bit more intuitive and in touch with yourself, and you know exactly what you would prefer. But not everybody does. A lot of people don't know what they want and don't know their core values, and they don't know their purpose. And so in a life coaching role, I focus more on helping people answer those kinds of questions of, what is my purpose? What are my core values? What do I really want from my life? And we dive a little bit deeper into the insights. But even then, I don't believe in a 20-year coaching relationship. We can do it in 5-6 sessions. I believe that maximum. I think that people deserve results
quickly. Yes, they deserve results much quickly at this time.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about the muscle testing that we mentioned, the kinesiology, and we have some more time. So maybe can you go over a little bit what muscle testing really is, how it works, and tell us also about the surrogation that you do during PSYCH-K and how that works. Maybe you can also show us a quick demo if you would like just to give the audience a perspective on, okay, our body has this external, this beautiful knowledge giving us the lie detector that you said. So maybe you can just do a quick muscle testing on yourself, and maybe my name is Tanya or whatever. Just so
Sure.
it will be an amazing. I thought it just striked, so I'm like putting you on spot without preparation, but you have
Yeah, no,
whatever you
that's fine.
like.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So the traditional method of muscle testing is using an arm, either arm, whatever people are comfortable with. And so there's in PSYCH-K you have a facilitator and you have a partner. We don't generally use the word client, and the reason for that is we believe that as a facilitator, I'm not creating change in my partners. People create change in themselves. We all have divine knowing in us. It's not my job to make that change happen or create that change. I am merely here as a conduit of facilitation to help it come out in my participants. So in order to muscle test, I have to develop a communication with my partner's subconscious mind, and I do that through the muscle testing. So with right or left arm held up, I will first ask the participant a couple of questions, some questions that are true, very obviously true, and some that will be false for them. And by doing that, I can then feel what the sensation feels like in their body when their muscles go weak to something that isn't true, and they feel it as well, which is really important, so that there's an understanding of, oh yeah, that's right, my subconscious mind didn't believe that statement. And fundamentally the neurochemical components of that we probably don't have time to get into, but I can do it on myself, and I can do it on people by distance. And I think this is the really beautiful and phenomenal thing about the universe, and something that a lot of people have a little bit of a hard time understanding, especially when we're going through COVID lockdown and self-distancing. Even though there is a touch sensation involved in muscle testing, I can muscle test participants over Zoom or over phone. And I can do that. You used the word surrogation. And I can do that when I use something called surrogation. And the real reason for that is that fundamentally on a quantum level, we're all connected. So your superconscious and my superconscious are essentially one. So as long as I have asked your superconscious if I have permission to muscle test on your behalf, and your subconscious mind agrees to it, then I actually muscle test myself as the participant. So I will muscle test myself as Vishnu and be able to get a correct response for your systems, for your subconscious.
Yes. And I think that is one of the best gifts that PSYCH-K has given. I haven't seen that anywhere else where you can. That was my first wow moment with PSYCH-K. I was like, wow, you can muscle test for me. That's amazing. And then I also
It is amazing.
I worked with other PSYCH-K facilitators, and it's like, and when they do it, it's always a perfect. When I feel,
Yeah.
of course, the minute we say a statement, for example, I'm confident, I have courage, or whatever it is. When I'm not really feeling that inside of me, I can feel, yeah, I'm not really confident. And when the facilitator muscle tests, it's always perfect, 100%. I was like, wow, this is amazing. This is one of the modalities that I miss, that I have to learn. So
yeah. Yeah,
We are nearing.
it's beautiful and beautiful and mind blowing at the same time.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much. We are nearing the end. So, my dear viewers, we have put the link of Tanya and the link below. You can click on that. You can look at her packages. And I think you also give like a free consultation. Is that right?
I do a free consult. I will do a free consultation for people that come to me from this to just help them understand which of the packages, whether they want a single session, 3 sessions, or a coaching session. Happy to do that. Just a quick 15 minutes, and then whatever the booking is, a 10% discount off that.
Yes, so we have a special 10% off discount coupon code for you just for watching this show. And the coupon code is 0 point. While you are contacting Tanya, you can just let her know about this coupon code to get the discount. As she mentioned, she is also giving a free consultation again for watching this. So you can take an opportunity to talk to her, whatever kind of issues that you're facing in your life, especially if it is a career transition that you're looking for, quitting your day job and moving to a business, for example, or moving from one job to another, whatever that is. I think she is the best you can find with regards to this particular topic, which is why we chose this. All right, thank you so much. And yeah, I think we covered it all. Thank you so much, Tanya. So, my dear viewers, I'm going to see you in my next show. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do share and subscribe, especially if you know of somebody who is in this career transitioning process where they are stuck in their lives. Please do share this video with them so it can be a help for them as well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.